when we split up, she wanted to do this, she wanted to do that, she wanted the bright lights, but also she quite fairly fancied my aunt's sister, I think. And I knew that this woman was definitely violently anti-gay. And I did say to this affair, whatever you do, don't tell her. But knowing better than me, they went for a drink down the local pub, and after a few drinks, she, I don't know quite how she couched it, but I get the impression that it was like, well, we're gay, what are you going to do about it? Kind of thing. And I'm glad to say that her reward for this was a table full of drinks upended all over her. So that was a bit of a failure. And so from that came, oh dear, she's going to go back and tell my aunt, and my aunt's going to go and tell my mum, and she's going to take great delight in doing it. So I thought, how can I handle this? So my first port of call was my nan, and I did out myself to my nan, and my nan's reaction was, have you killed anybody? And I said, no. And she said, well, then it's not so bad then, is it? And she was my most fervent and vocal supporter in the family, which was lovely. Family reactions were kind of a bit weird, I suppose, in some senses. My parents' first reaction was to send me to a psychiatrist and have me cured, which didn't work. Because my psychiatrist, his advice to me was, go and find a club. Go find a club, find like-minded people, and sort of find yourself a circle of friends, which I thought was quite good. And my brother and sister ostensibly accepted it. In fact, my brother was quite, I'm talking, I'm talking, what am I talking? The late 60s. I'm talking the late 60s, 69, 70. Yeah, my brother was quite vocally supportive of me through the years. My sister doesn't really say much about anything, but she appeared to accept it, and they both accepted Anne, as we thought. But the problems when my dad died kind of unleashed all this thing that all these years they didn't really accept it. But my brother then went on to tell me, which I think was a bit spiteful, that my dad never really understood it, but I know he did, because I used to sit and have a pint with my dad now and again, when him and my mum were going through their medical problems, and I know that my mum's never approved, but I know that my dad accepted it, and I know that my dad loved Anne because they got on, and she used to, if I couldn't take him to, he was going back and forth to Moorfields, and if I couldn't take him, then Anne would take him, and he was well into that, and he thought that she was the best thing that ever happened to me. I was outed at work by a sort of relative by marriage who'd heard about this through her son, and her reaction was kind of spread it all around the firm, and And phrases like, has she tried to touch you yet? I know people are so attractive, aren't they? You can't keep your hands off them, can you? I knew it had got out because all of a sudden everyone had stopped talking to me, and not only to do with work. And I thought, well, I'll just have to carry on as usual, which I did. And gradually, one by one, they all came back. And in the end, it was just an accepted thing. That I was just, the girl that wrote poetry for them.